Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Paladins Open Qualifiers. My name is Randy. This is Hi-Rez Pretty Hair, and it's time to get going for the finals today. It's Saturday. It's Europe. And, of course, before we get into that, though, Nick, we need to talk about something very important.
Sometimes you're just feeling down, you know. You're out here grinding. You feel like you just need a little bit extra.
I played my best.
Sometimes you need a boost.
I mean, what do you have to do if you just want to earn champion XP faster, if you want to get gold faster, especially with the new legendary cards coming out? You got to get an account booster, baby. For 7 days or for 30 days, you're going to be able to earn more XP, more gold, more champion mastery, and that's right, 25% off. Oh my God. Hold on. I'll be right back. Guys, I'll be right back. I got to go buy one. I got to go
What a deal.
Hold on.
Additionally, these give you a
1 second.
A bonus
Okay, I'll stay
login.
here.
Every day you log in, you get 5 crystals and some amount of gold. So this thing almost pays for itself if you're playing every day while you have it equipped. So make sure that you continue to log in when you play and when you buy this discounted booster.
It's a smart move. It's a smart pickup. Let's see which teams are not the smartest, but the best coming into the finals here in Europe. It will be Interlopers versus District 69. And Fish Market and Ice Mines will be banned out this time. So Timber Mill will be on the table, which is going to be an interesting map in the rotation, possibly. And game one, we're going to start it off on the beautiful newest map, Stone Keep.
Yeah, we saw Knessa played a little bit here, so District 69 could go that way. We'll have to see getting into the champion draft, heading straight on in there. District 69 do run Knessa a fair bit, but
Bugzy's a great Knessa as well.
He's a great Knessa. He's a great Drogos.
He's a great player.
I want to see his Mave, though. I want to see his Mave.
That's true. Really exciting to see. Let's see if the draft gives him the chance to play Mave. Obviously, these teammates can switch around. They just pick what they feel is the most important priority, and that could be taking something away. That could be shifting Bugzy onto a Ruckus, which ended up being a huge win for them last time on Jaguar Falls. So all of a sudden, Mave, first picked by Interlopers, do not want to give that to the hands of bugzy, PERDO, or anyone else on D69.
I mean, Spunkki played it great. It's good on this map because she kind of has that free angle where we saw Bugzy or Spunkki do it, where you just
That's a great point. Yeah,
he headed straight over the rooftop there, and that gives you a free line to the back line. There's a lot of cover on Stone Keep, but Prowl is very loud, so popping Prowl immediately after that kind of gives your positioning away. I mean, that's obviously where Spunkki's going to be coming from, but it'll be interesting to see how District 69 is able to react. They react with the Drogos and the Shaolin. Landing those impales was very key to shutting down Lemonade's Mave, and will likely be the same here for Spunkki's.
Ruckus taken by Interlopers here, and you know, we talk about Spunkki. If you're just joining us in the broadcast, Spunkki is a former member of Burrito, who's the best team in Europe, but they've actually been dropped out by Spunkki's new team that also has a sub that played with D69 at Paladins Invitational, which lost to Burrito, and that's unbelievable. Now they're both on the same team and getting potentially
Spunkki
double
knows
revenge.
how Burrito thinks. Unbelievable knows how D69 think.
This is looking like an incredible story.
Is this the day of the substitute?
The day of the substitute. I love it, man.
So Ruckus and Maldamba locked in for Interlopers. Ying and Cassie is the selection for District 69. I like Interlopers draft, though. I have to say, I mean, those are all strong picks. What are they going to round it out with? It will be the Eevee here, so trying to shut down Shaolin. A lot of flank pressure into the backline, so Cassie and Shaolin, but a lot of burst damage, and something to account for is Bugzy's on fire on this Drogos right now.
And my issue with this is range. Where is the range coming from? They've got to be up close for almost all these fights. Ruckus, he could do it. Unbelievable. He had 100K on the Ruckus prior to that, so he's going to be having a lot to do in this fight because they have no other range to compare against Shipa and PERDO and the Cassie and the Shaolin, respectively. eLvenpath's going to round things out as the frontliner. Makoa, gerrah will be on Ying for D69, and Bugzy on his impeccably strong Drogos.
Creatives is going to be on the Eevee, kamyker, Fernando Unbe, going to be on Ruckus, skillganon on Maldamba, and Spunkki on Mave today. The first items is starting to come out. eLvenpath with the master riding because he likes to play aggressive, and he's probably going to die a lot for it, and he needs to be able to get back quicker. Shipa's going to get the wrecker. Bugzy's going to get the wrecker. Both of those characters have abilities that actually supplement and scale off of a wrecker, so great picks up across the board. There was a double tanks that District 69 are going to need to chew through right over the bushes. Reset. Doesn't pop the Prowler. He's already spotted out. Like I mentioned, Shipa He probably realizes he knows exactly where it's coming. He's going to hear the prowl immediately and withdraw to safety. Eating 1,100 damage, though. Bugzy's hitting these rockets. And Bugzy narrowly comes away with that. But you see the response from District 69. Cassie, Shaolin, and Drogos are all called to the back line to deal with this Maeve. And now they just resume play.
And you know what's actually great is that they were able to take 27% on the point there, Interlopers, and Fernando and Ruckus stayed alive because Drogos can't just keep firing on the point. Finally, PERDO takes down Unbelievable. Creatives is going to follow up with PERDO, though, and he's in the ice block. The fire spit will be too late, and he will be able to blink away. Spunkki now picks up Gerrah, and this is huge. Spunkki picks up Bugzy. Going crazy in the back line is Maeve. These flankers are doing the deadly deed of damage and destruction all onto D69, and with 93%, they are going to look to capture this objective fully against D69.
Spunkki comes back in a big way, doesn't get dealt with, and just picking District 69 apart, hooked in and punished that time, though. eLvenpath on point for the most part with these hooks, but still so much time left here. And now, as we head into this, the range didn't seem to come into play too much there for Interlopers. The point, there's a fairly long distance line of sight, but you have to be very exposed to exploit that. You can see this building where Creatives is right now, those are not long lines of sights, and that's where a lot of these fights are going to happen here, and then the Cathedral here behind kamyker. But as the payload rounds the first corner, this long-range composition drafted from District 69 should start to excel. They're going to be able to pick off and destroy a lot of these shields as they're rounding the corner here, so going to be difficult to break the base of District 69.
Nice fireball combination with the damage from Ruckus. The consistent pressure. Spunkki still alive at such a low amount of health, but a triple fireball will do damage. Will Spunkki be able to clean this up? Bugzy looks for the dragon punch, and he will find the Ruckus. Shipa in the back line trying to finish off the Maeve, who's staying alive, double jumping, but a nice flick shot will secure the kill. Shipa with the withdraw, now looking for more. skillganon in the dirt because of Shaolin, and Shipa right now is running wild.
On point shots, just time and time again. Heat Haze ready to go as well. A minute remaining on this payload push here for the Interlopers. They have the Midnight, they have the Dread Serpent, they almost have Hexafire, and they have the Ice Storm, so a lot of potential follow-up for this Midnight to come through. In District 69 now on the back foot. Dread Serpent comes out as well. Midnight is here. The clock has struck midnight. Bugzy just flying away, trying. Not a lot of kills. No kills, in fact, for Interlopers off the back of all those ultimates. D69 holding on for now. eLvenpath goes down. Spunkki's in the back line and healthy, and this could spell disaster for District 69.
But pressure was created, Nick, and that is what they wanted there. They wanted to push them back. Shipa's in a bad spot. Doesn't know where he is.
Wow, what a read!
How did he read that? It was invisible. Finally, just the quick reaction. Spunkki playing like a straight god right now on this Maeve. Gonna dash, get a little bit of help from the pounce. He's still alive somehow, but he will now start moonwalking back to the base. Unbelievable with a double kill, though. Could this be a 2-0? It's gonna be up to Gerrah to do something outrageous to stop this all. Dimensional Link will keep him alive for just a moment, but the push is successful. Interlopers 2-0 over D69.
I mean, such good play from Spunkki there on the Maeve to just break open the backline. And what happened, I think, how he got that read, he comes around the statue, sees the positioning of the clone that Shaolin left behind, and knows exactly what direction that he withdrawn, and just snapped immediately to the invisible Shaolin, taking him out. 51% already back on the Midnight Ultimate there. For Spunkki. Cauterized 2 online for kamyker and Creatives. Interlopers going to be fairly far ahead on credits after that very snowballed win in round number 1. Aldamba leading the charge on healing, but Gerrah, now with Cauterized 2 online, should be able to try and keep that under control, but the Cauterized advantage definitely in favor right now of Interlopers, and these are both 2 very excellent healer players, so shutting them down is going to be key. We're getting into the pause right now with the missed salvo right off the bat. Not the way to start the round for D69, but you can see some positioning here on the high ground from eLvenpath heading into the Cathedral here, trying to win this 1v1 tank battle, and that's the plus here for the Interlopers. They have the double frontliner lineup, so they're just leaving Unbelievable on the point. They're going to start capturing this through, and when you do this and then win the fight, you capture the point immediately. You only have to win the one team fight to do it. It's a bit of a risk spreading up your team comp like this, but it's, you know, risk reward here, and they're already up 2-0.
Yeah, it's the silent fight, the fight that doesn't really happen. No one really fully engages, but you still get the objective capture. That could be the big advantage in this team comp. You know, Spunkki has been, to me, lights out on this Mave, and he's shown that he can deal with not only stationary targets like the Shaolin, not only high damage targets like the Shaolin and the Cassie, but the Drogos, airborne targets. You mentioned it was a pretty good matchup
it's
for
not
Mave.
a bad matchup for Mave.
He's really putting a lot of pressure on bugzy.
Fire Spit's coming out now onto the point. They look for Spunkki where he came in the previous round. They'll see him dash out now. Fire Spit pressure is going to be there.
Huge.
Hits 800, so Spunkki going to be on his last legs. Will be out of the fight for some time now. Goes back in aggressive, and he's going to get punished for it. Doesn't get any kills. Nice hook from eLvenpath. If eLvenpath stays alive here, this is huge. He does. Great. He makes it out of the fight, thrust up onto the high ground. Spunkki just looking for any unfortunate soul to be the recipient of that salvo, and it will be skillganon.
I do love the salvos too. He's just actually changed his conditioning from so long. I mean, this guy has not pressed Q on Drogos in like a year, I would say. And now he's finally just doing it on the perfect moments, the perfect times, keeping that awareness in, especially when you know how to play a champion and you just adding those new elements is very impressive to do that quickly. Just shows the kind of quality of player bugzy is in Paladins and why you all should be paying attention to the way that he's working this dragon and why D69 should be paid attention to as they find themselves now with a capture objective and a chance to tie things up 2-2. They've still got 2 minutes remaining to finish this push off.
Stun comes out on the eLvenpath. The hook is here. Clock has struck midnight. Pulls Unbelievable out into a rough spot, but no one from Dixter69 can follow up. Impaled backwards, and they're hunting Shipa down right now on the Shaolin. Bugzy with a double kill, though. He's being led to free fire in the front line, and still Shipa is alive. No kills for Spunkki in the backline. Shipa actually somehow comes on top after being pressured out by both flankers.
They put a lot of energy on trying to kill Shipa, and you're right, it was wasted effort. Now gerrah stays alive with the dimensional link. You talk about making it so hard to kill someone. Ying just buys time. You have to wait, try to see where she's illusioning to, where is she going, which clone is she going to, and that often buys enough time for her teammates to help in a competitive scenario. That's why the best Yings can be so valuable. gerrah pulling out a great play there to stall out his life and make sure that his team had a chance to keep this push going. 1 minute and 7 seconds left. And again, we see creatives finishing off eLvenpath, but gerrah finding kills in response. This is a very momentous occasion right now, Nick. The fire spin is true. Bugzy comes through with the thrust, gets the bonus damage. One more shot on the Unbelievable is not necessary. The fire spit could zone out. The shields are melting like a knife through butter, and he's trying to finish off this extremely vulnerable target with a great salvo. The Dragon Punch is charged. No need to use it, though. He doesn't want to throw that out there. He's going to hit a rocket into the face of kamyker and Spunkki and tie this up 2-2.
18 streak for Bugzy, 14 streak for Shipa and gerrah. D69 come back in a big way, tying things up. Keep all their ultimates on the board as well. Dread Serpent, Immortal, and Midnight were all used on that defense to try and hold, and they still don't get the mark. So now this is District 69's chance to snowball this. They're in a better spot than they were heading into the last round. They can easily capture this payload if all of their ultimates are finding value. With Cauterize 3 now online, Shipa has Wrecker 3 now online. Those shields are going to be melting quicker and quicker.
Now think about this, Spunkki and skillganon, both very possible to pick up some of these kills if things go well, especially Spunkki. If he gets Bugzy, if he gets gerrah, if he gets Shipa, all three his targets, they're all on 14, 18 streaks right now. He will get his ultimate very, very quickly. But here's the Dragon Punch, trying to make sure that cannot happen. Looking for the Fernando. He does take down kamyker. Looks to find one more. He will get the double kill. Bugzy looking to make it 3 if he can. The fire spit's gonna hit Unbelievable, and that will be a kill. gerrah will get this kill secure, but it's all Bugzy. 21 streak for the Drogos player.
I mean, one of those days right now. eLvenpath looking to zone out kamyker on this Fernando, just dismounting him. Not really any danger right now. The salvo has been primed and it's fired. It's ripping damage into the tank and the healer. A fire spit onto the high ground could be good, but the rocket is actually going to clip the edge there. Spunkki finds the kill onto Shipa, and this is a good start for Interlopers making their way back onto the point.
That's a big, big switch of momentum there. Will Does Maldamba stay alive? That is the big moment there. Creative's getting one of battle. No. Bugzy is there again to change things up. He gets 2 and he stays alive. Will he be 3? Wants to get 1. Slither comes through. Maldamba, will he drop down? No. The gourd is there. Fire spit in the air. Great idea by Bugzy. But all the while, the objective is controlled by D69, and they will get the capture and go ahead 3-2 in this game, as if it wasn't obvious enough because of the way Bugzy's been playing.
Salvo has been primed right now. The salvo into the fire spit. That's a good way to hit your fire spits. I might start doing that.
Wow.
The Dragon Punch as well is now primed and ready to go again. Long range fire spit takes down Creatives. He says, oh, hey, what's up, kamyker? Got this Dragon Punch here. Not going to find the kill. He's just going to weave himself back out. But again, could have gotten the 4,000 damage out onto the Fernando. Unbelievable. Pops the Hexafire to try and get this defense stabilized for the Interlopers.
Immediately, I think spunkki needs to switch target prioritization to Bugzy. Needs to make sure that he goes down in this fight very, very soon. He's at 22% ultimate charge. Killing someone on a 25 streak would nearly charge that immediately.
I was going to say, he might want to just
right
go
now,
jump off the map.
spunkki is literally just annihilated. This salvo has become so strong, and it's up in 6 seconds again, thanks to the Spitfire 2 card that Bugzy is running in his loadout. It's going to make sure those cooldowns are going to be reduced by 2 seconds for each actually for each rocket hit in salvo. Again, 29 streak for Bugzy. This is unprecedented, Nick.
Another big salvo and another big kill from Bugzy. Takes out kamyker immediately. Dragon Punch charged up for the 3rd time on this push, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking for anyone. Unbelievable coming out of the base. Is going to get blasted. Direct impacts left, right, and center. District 69 just end Interlopers' struggle right there. Just put them out of their misery. They say, Bugzy, no more. These people have families, guy.
Holy moly.
Damn, bro. Damn, dog.
Oh, man. That is just nuts, dude. The way he is playing right now on this Drogos. I cannot.
It's something to behold.
I cannot deal with this. I cannot deal with this.
How much damage you did? Over, under 100. I'm not looking. I'm going to say, well, how long was the game? Tell me how long the game was.
14-minute game.
Probably under.
It was under. Man, good guess.
Not by long. Not by
though, Nick.
a bit, though. Yo, shout outs to Shipa, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Shipa
crazy that he was able to keep up.
I mean,
holy crap.
Incredible performance by Shipa to just match Bugzy. But star of the show. I mean, you cannot deny how effective Bugzy was, and the fact that he was on a 32 streak, man.
35-3.
I mean, this is
that's
next
something.
level stuff.
That character is extremely strong when you're landing all of your shots, and Bugzy, he doesn't miss often. You know, similar to PERDO and Androxus, Bugzy just doesn't miss on Drogos.
And it is showing that despite how well...
Shout out to that salvo fire spit, though.
Yeah, that was a good play. Very interesting. I didn't know that was actually a mechanic that worked.
Yeah, because it's similar to, you know, so salvo and planted for Shaolin, they're for all intents and purposes just auto attacks that come out quicker. They still scale with life rip, they still scale with wrecker, they still trigger fire spit, all that good stuff. So Serpent Beach going to be game number 2, and this is where Bugzy lit it up once again. So Interlopers, they have to take this Drogos away. That was the only way that Skit Light were able to slow District 69 down. They didn't slow him down by much, but it gave him hope at least.
And you know, my memory might fail me here. I believe it was spunkki or skillganon. It's one of those that I felt played Drogos.
spunkki.
Plays Drogos on the squad, and that means taking the Mave away from spunkki. And spunkki's such a good Mave. It's kind of like, man, you know, I either have to be such a good Mave that I am beating Bugzy's Drogos consistently, or I take it away and I allow PERDO and the other team to have Mave, and I take a huge advantage for us, because despite how well I can play Drogos, I could probably play Mave better. But considering how well Bugzy's playing, I think it's probably
get him off
to
Drogos.
your advantage to play, okay, I'm going to take a B+ character rather than an A+, but I'm going to take them from an S tier, right, to at least, you know, an A+, right? It's just, it's going to change. It's going to give us a chance.
It's going to be a net win.
Yeah, it's going to be a net win for us. And I think that's where, you know, they have to be looking going into game 2. But where do you think the draft needs to adjust for Interlopers specifically going into this next game on Serpent Beach?
Well, they're taking double frontliner. We saw them take it in the last game. So not only does taking Drogos away, you know, improve the double frontliner composition, because we saw how, you know, masterfully Drogos can just shred apart the double frontliner comp.
True.
But you make your comp better and you get bugzy off of it, which is like priority number 1 right now if you're Interlopers.
And you see here also, you know, usually we see kind of
there it is. They're like, no more.
No more.
We learned our lesson.
Now, will they pick Maeve here? That's the real question. Will they grab Maeve as well? And they will not. It does
Ruckus
still,
over Fernando.
It does. Ruckus is somebody Unbelievable is very comfortable with.
That's true.
And so I don't mind that. Plus, they could be flexing a pick here because they will have last pick. They may try to goat them into doing something a little heavier and then bring out the Pip at the very end, because they could have someone flex onto the Ruckus and Unbelievable can flex the Ruckus or Pip. And I think that could be an interesting strategy. I just haven't seen it when teams go that route to be effective with the Pip the way they need to.
Damba Fernando is, what, D69? Pick up in their second picking phase here. 2 picks to respond. Interlopers, Shaolin still available. Maeve still available. No Torvald. EU doesn't really show the propensity to run Torvald. I'm really interested to see NA tomorrow if they run Torvald alongside the Maeve.
It'll be fun. I know that will. It's got to happen. There's no way.
It's
NA's
very
gonna
strong.
pass that up. NA loves that stuff.
Shaolin still on the board here. The next
This is crazy.
best
So they grab the Maeve,
choice.
and then they have Spunkki who could flex on both of those.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, gosh, throw a Pip in there, I'm just going to be shaking my head because I don't know who's playing what at this point. Cassie comes through, and I like it. They take away the counter. I mean, as little of a counter it is, which is, I think it's a relatively big counter, but, you know, obviously Maeve can still do what she needs to do.
Shaolin Eevee here, though, is still on the table.
I mean, that's going to be a strong composition. Buck for PERDO, seemingly, and Shaolin coming
Shipa.
out. Now, will Bugzy's probably going to, he's very possibly going to be on this Fernando.
Yeah, could be.
Very possibly. And Ying comes out for Interlopers. So it could be Shaolin on the Shipa on Shaolin, who's just, they're one and the same at this point because he's just dominated damage-wise. So effective. Maeve's going to have to deal with that Shaolin. And I think she's going to have a lot less pressure on her to deal with somebody who's just so damaging to their front line, like the Drogos.
Yeah, I like Interloper's comp. It's a lot of it's on the damage dealers. It's going to be on the Cassie, the Maeve, and the Drogos to carry this because Ruckus just can't, you know, hold his own on the point against 2 frontliners, against Makoa and Fernando. The lineups, though, Shipa will be on Shaolin, gerrah on Maldamba. Elvin is going to be on Fernando, and bugzy will be on Makoa. PERDO on his Buck.
And on the side of Interlopers, skillganon will be on that Drogos. kamyker now off of the tank onto the healer. Spunkki on the Maeve still. Unbelievable on Ruckus. And creatives will be on Cassie. Let's see what happens here on Serpent Beach. District 69 have a game 1 advantage over Interlopers. And they're looking to make that a 2-game advantage here, but it starts with round 1. They look to take the high ground, now aggressing onto the mid ground as well. Finds the planted, but he finds actually no damage on top of that. Bugzy gets a kill onto skillganon in the backside. Shipa, meanwhile, just being Shaolin, using that long line of sight, that no damage fall off with those projectiles to impact the fight from a safe distance. And PERDO, meanwhile, has a chance to jump up with D69, 54%, and counting on the objective here.
Buck already headed back to try and deal with this Maeve. The sniper shotgun is not going to be enough. I think he healed up off of his pounce.
Oh my, he's still alive.
Still able to trade out the kill, and that is the power of Maeve. When you go all in, you have enough sustain and burst damage to take somebody down with you more often than not.
That was very, very important in terms of just, you know, being able to get something for your life. It may not affect this point fight, but hey, Interlopers now 66% counting, forced District 69 actually off the objective, and Buck waiting for the right target to jump in on. He sees the back line, and he sees up on top kamyker there. Actually, excuse me, that would be creatives, but he's going to go down quickly to skillganon, who finds a double kill. And Fernando's shield, eLvenpath, he's going to get melted here, and so he's going to have to fall back. A nice fireball will do damage, but creatives in the back line, and he's aggressing onto him here. Maldamba slithers away from skillganon, who's playing a great Drogos right now, even though Shipa cleans him up, but the objective will go to Interlopers.
And he found 3 kills there. Great job on skillganon. But the fight previous to that, Spunkki, he's distracting PERDO, as well as I believe it was either Gerrah or Shipa in the backline for that whole time. And meanwhile, the other 4 members of Interlopers are able to win back control around the point, and that is why they're now in control of this game, leading 1-0.
And now Cassie can use her ultimate freely too. It's so important, you know, saving it to counter Maeve's ultimate is a hindrance to Cassie. You want to use that at the beginning of a point fight. You want to get advantages in these small pushes and know where they're peeking out from to get the poke. And now, because they're on the same team, they can do that. Great pickup in the draft phase, I think, for Interlopers, at least to start this match.
Ancient Rage ready to go for bugzy. There's a nice pull onto Ying, but Dragon Punch already coming through, and it will have the range to get there. PERDO able to find the answer back. The payload is approaching the final corner here. It's just now rounding, and Interlopers are still holding strong here. 3 members. PERDO gonna be jumping in, misses the jump damage, but able to clean up the kill, and Shipa finds one on Unbelievable as well. Gerrah did have the Dread Serpent available. Should push come to shove. 1 minute remain here. And the defense holding strong.
You know, Dread Serpent would be powerful, but he wants to save that for the next point.
Exactly.
And of course, the Mending Spirits are doing just as enough work for him to support his teammates. But meanwhile, bugzy goes down, just coming off the Drogo's play. Probably a little weird going on to the Makoa and just feeling, not only just hitting your shots, but just filling that different role. It's a different pacing to being a front line than being a damage dealer, especially Drogo's, who's kind of got his own free will in the air there as the dragon. And he's now just finding that a little bit too difficult there, going a little bit out of his realm of safety and falls a little earlier. PERDO, though, feeling himself on this buck, jumping in and jumping out and doing his thing as usual.
Spunkki with 2 kills here. Both frontliners dead. 4d69. PERDO, he's trying to get in there, but he just can't. There's not enough health left in the pool here for Interlopers, and they steal a quick 2-0 away from District 69. They did in the previous game, but D69 show that they can come back, but just not having the same impact.
With this lineup, though, can they? I mean, that's the thing. It's very tanky, Nick. But is this what they need? I mean, skillganon keeps playing really well on Drogo. This is going to be really hard for D69.
It's such an impact character when the shots are landing. Spunkki's finding a lot of distraction as well in the backline. That's giving Interlopers a lot of space to work with, a lot of free reign. Skillganon picked up 2 kills on his way into the fight. He didn't even have to go chasing after them. So definitely something to look out for. Shipa does not have Heat Haze, but every other ultimate on the side of District 69 ready to go there. Dragon Punch, you know, you can almost... I can't really even say it's not available because we've seen bugzy charge it up 3 times in the same payload push. It just comes down to how much damage this player can output.
And here's a great ultimate by Spunkki as well. He's going to go to the back line, see if he can finish off a great instinctual shot by Shipa. He gets 2 shots mid-blind by Maeve. Unbelievable. Last thing I'm sure Spunkki expected. And speak of the devil, Unbelievable goes down himself. eLvenpath and PERDO now zoning creatives off of the objective, and he's going to have to dodge roll back with that incitement loadout and just lifesteal, heal up, and create some distance before his team attempts to get back on this.
But still a lot left in the tank for D69. I mean, Heat Haze already about halfway, and we still have Immortal Ancient Rage. And there's the Immortal to counter out the Hexafire. So 1 for 1 in ultimates right now. The Ancient Rage and the Buckwild still could come out here for District 69, but they're taking this fight in spades. Creatives in the backline, rolls away from Gerrah. Despite Gerrah being all alone, he's going to let the healer live and trade out himself. I don't know if I agree with that dodge roll.
That's a big, big deal that was happening there. All that was left was skillganon, and he was not able to get onto the point and contest, and so he dies shortly thereafter after getting pulled by bugzy. And now the 2 frontliners are just wreaking havoc up range, up close. And it's kind of like a melee squad, Nick. Makoa, he wants to get up close. Fernando wants to get up close. PERDO on the Buck wants to get up close. And Gerrah is just boosting them in the back with those Mending Spirits.
Yeah, that was crazy that bugzy, he almost stayed alive there. Here comes the Dragon Punch. Trying, PERDO actually able to give skillganon the slip there. Dragon Punch does not land onto anyone. You can see he is refunded 30% of that charge for missing, but PERDO on the back foot. Spunkki going to take him out and then immediately pop Midnight as he rotates back into this team fight.
I love this. No one knows, and immediately, Nick, they pull back. Like, they were just
into Spunkki.
Yeah, into Spunkki. They don't know where he is, but the most important thing is they just instinctively, it just makes them pull back. It makes them play defensive. That's the power of this ultimate. It puts you on edge, and that little bit of lack of coordination can make the difference in these team fights if this goes down to the wire, which it very well could.
1-2, read the score line right now. So Interlopers in a position to benefit from the point on defense if they hold here, so they will go up 3-1. District 69 really need to find the conversion here, and rotating back into the fight, PERDO trying to punish Spunkki for being out of position, but this character just so mobile, getting a lot of healing from his Yin clones as well. He's ready to take that fight with PERDO.
But Shipa absolutely being the thorn in Maeve's side here. Shaolin with those impales, just with the heavy damage they can put out, forcing Spunkki into Haven 2, just to try and survive a little bit longer, use those 9 lives, and get out of trouble. Bugzy, though, picks up a double kill in the Ancient Rage. Unbelievable is there, hitting the headshots, but he's forced out of the fight. And here's PERDO and gerrah as well, and that is a dangerous clump of 4 that is going to do some damage to you. 30 seconds on the clock. eLvenpath and bugzy looking to zone here. Great hook, and PERDO is going to look to jump in. eLvenpath, actually bugzy just self-spinning away to stay safe and stay alive in this fight. He knows if he goes down, it's going to be a tough push for D69.
Misses the hook though onto Spunkki. Maldamba stun onto the point. Here comes the Dread Serpent, lands onto a lot of members from Interlopers here, providing some space. Creative's able to answer back onto Shipa immediately. Shell spinning in aggressively though. Bugzy looking to hold this frontliner down. Here comes the hook cooldown. It's gonna land onto skillganon, and they need to find this kill before he thrusts away, and they do. PERDO popping Buck, actually saving the Buck while just finding 2 kills on his own as he pop it to try and punch this one through. Overtime is ticking through. Here comes the Hexafire to put his foot down. Unbelievable says no more.
I love it. Just goes into the defensive zone. Heat haste pop by Shipa. He can see him, but she can, oh my god, he's so close to him. Actually, that the heat haze is null and void, because if you get close to a champion, even though they're in stealth in Paladins, they're still visible to you. And that made all the difference. That midnight right there. And we talk about that change in the game, that just changed this game. And they pull back, fall to pieces to Spunkki, and it's 3-1.
Leading damage is Creatives on this Cassie right now in his comfort pick. And Spunkki, what seems like is becoming his comfort pick, is not far behind on this Maeve, finding a lot of value here, and cauterizes are starting to come online. These healers are going to be less effective. It's going to be easier and easier for Spunkki to burst his targets down.
I mean, unbelievable. He's at the 3rd damage. He's above Drogos. He's above Shaolin. I mean, he's above even Buck. I mean, this is crazy. Unbelievable is playing an incredibly strong offensive ruckus, more so than we usually see.
Spunkki rotating around to the right this time. Does hear the cue from the planet, so he knows exactly where Shipa is. The first couple of knives going to miss. He's going to actually switch targets here onto Bugzy, as Bugzy was on the retreat here.
Smart.
So low. PERDO finally answers back onto the Interlopers. gerrah all alone. Maldamba can box fairly well in his own gore, getting himself healed back up, but just so much pressure from all angles. There's a nice stun. Pops the prow. Buck, though, is here to put his foot down onto Spunkki, but 57% and climbing 60% now for the Interlopers on the point.
Buck is here to save the day, and he jumps in and cleans up a Maeve with Prowl who could have healed up and changed this entire fight. Buck now has his ultimate. He stayed alive here and on a 2 streak, been able to pack 2. Make that 3. Oh, 3 kills in this fight. Buckwild comes out. Spunkki could fall here if he gets 1 good shot, but actually he's got a reload. PERDO looking to finish it off, and he does. 4 streak for Buck. The dynamics have shifted just as a result of that 1 kill.
81% on the point, though, for the Interlopers. They were able to get some percentage captured there. District 69 in control of the point for the time being here. Bugzy is all alone. Does pop the Ancient Rage to keep himself alive. Midnight has been struck through. They're just bursting Bugzy down. That 10,000 HP was not enough to survive that onslaught.
90% for Interlopers, and Spunkki gets a kill under PERDO. 99% now. This could be the game if they're able to finish this off. Overtime ticking down. Interlopers, are they going to clean things up and tie it 1-1? They sure will. The victory over D69 puts them even in the score.
And the Maeve just having such an outstanding impact here. And the matchup is good against Buck because a lot of Buck's damage comes from that heroic leap. And Maeve being able to hang out in the air with the double jump, the hang time mitigates so much of that 1v1 damage for the Buck there. And she was just putting out so much damage on her own. 73,000 damage there. Was actually able to pull ahead. Oh no, not ahead of Creatives there. He did take the cake there at 80,000 damage, but just getting it done is Spunkki on this Maeve today for me.
Bugzy, 60,000 damage on Makoa, which, you know, is something that we might see in our own personal play test, but is very rare, I mean, to see, especially when you have Shipa playing Shaolin on the team. I mean, bugzy seems to just be playing lights out no matter who
That's
he's
the
playing
impact
on.
of spunkki, though, is shutting down Shipa, is just making him miss shots, just buzzing around his head, not letting him free fire.
And that because Shaolin, he moves so much slower when he is holding up those long-range shots that he wants to impact those point fights. Being able to be mobile gives up his damage.
Frozen Guard is going to be the game number 3 map played here between District 69 and Interlopers for the first time. Today we will be seeing this map ready to head on into the champion draft. Get game number 3 started here. First pick to D69.
And they probably, yes they will, go with the Makoa Interlopers now. Will they select the Maeve and go with something else? The Drogos and Maeve works really well with them. They could repeat the draft here. If that's the case, D69 probably will pick something similar. May go for a couple of counters towards the end because the cores of their team were okay. I think the issue was D69 didn't have the damage output to deal with Interlopers well enough. They had the sustain and the healing, but if they played that wrong, one of their tanks went down.
Yeah.
They just did not have enough damage to win the rest of those fights.
So they go for the Maldamba and the Maeve, leaving Drogos open now for District 69 to scoop
That's
up,
strange.
as well as
But I like it.
Fernando. So that could be a very strong draft. So they don't need the healer at this point because Maldamba's already been picked for the Interloper. So the Fernando and the Drogos could be strong, but it will be the Androxus.
Yes.
For the first time today. Just get PERDO where he's comfortable, I guess.
Rendroxus and Shaw, they'll have damage now. They will not lack damage on this team. That is 100% certain.
Well, I guess we're tunneling a little bit on just the drafts today in this series, but this is Frozen Guard. So
Yeah.
the long-range character, Shaolin, going to do a little bit better. Androxus, you know, typically not doesn't really excel,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
any more so than he would on another map on Frozen Guard, but PERDO, that's the comfort pick, I guess. That's the magic of the comfort pick.
And I don't mind the Ruckus here, to be honest. I mean, they can go for Fernando. Ruckus has been doing a great job on Unbelievable. He's been serving just an incredible role. He's been their tanker. He survived longer than most Ruckuses we've seen, but he's also putting up incredibly high damage numbers. He's beating everyone on D69. He's almost beating everyone on Interlopers and doing his job as a tank. I'm very impressed by that. But this time they get the Cassie on the other side of the Maeve, and Nick, I think that's a big deal. I really do think grabbing that Cassie, it's not maybe the only game changer, but I think that it does make an impact and makes Maeve a little bit less scary when you can know exactly where she's coming from.
And they go into the Pip as well. No Fernando selected, so Pip double healer for the Interlopers, as well as Pip being picked into not a double frontline composition. Evil Mojo is often used to try and break the double frontline, but
Okay.
I guess just the name of the game is comfort picks here.
I mean, if he's going to go and be Pip, he's going to duel anyway. Might as well just go full duel. He's not going to compete in the healing category, but they got Maldamba for that. So now they get extra healing, and they're just going to go for the damage.
Well, the lineups will be District 69 has got bugzy on Cassie, gerrah on Ying, eLvenpath on Makoa, Shipa on Shaolin, and PERDO on Androxus.
And for Interlopers, creatives will be on Ruckus, Unbelievable on his Pip, spunkki on Maeve, skillganon on Drogos, and kamyker, starting out with Kronos on Maldamba.
Master riding here for eLvenpath, just allowing him to get to the point a little bit quicker. Kronos for bugzy, just to smooth out the delay in those dodge rolls. Couple of cauterizes for PERDO and gerrah, and Shipa gets the wrecker online here, but honestly, against Ruckus, I got one wrecker's fine against Ruckus.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of shielding, only 3,000 on that emitter shield. But just right now, trying to find that first blood.
But it will make him, especially if that wrecker champion goes down, a lot more vulnerable. spunkki with Maeve takes down bugzy's Cassie. And Bugzy, you know he's going to be trying to get some duels on with spunkki today. 12% and counting for D69, and as they move forward, they still have Maeve to deal with. She actually misses the jump forward. eLvenpath, she knows he could have just pulled her, but she dashes right away defensively, like we saw Lemonade use so well. And 57% will still be going forward for District 69.
eLvenpath hooks Ruckus into not really a lot of follow-up there, just letting him know he's here, zoning him out, taking him off his mount. 90% there. There's the hook to get him off the point. No one from Interlopers is here, but no one from D69 is actually on the point right now. There we go. Gonna get that first payload online. There's a nice hook onto Maldamba. Shipa cleaning him up.
This is going at it with a vengeance, Nick. D69 seem mad right now. They seem upset that they lost this game against Interlopers, and they want to put a statement out on the board right now saying there is no way you can contest with us. Get off the point. eLvenpath with such ferocity, such great follow-up coming up on those hooks. 2 minutes left. I'm not sure they're going to need all 2.
Rolling now past about the halfway mark. PERDO eating a lot of damage from the fire spit combination there. Gets himself healed up in the back line. Spunkki's actually holding down the front line, and this is almost reminiscent of Skit Light, where Interlopers are giving up a lot of ground to D69 right out of the gate.
Absolutely. skillganon getting focused down by PERDO, doing a great job of using that hit scan to take down that airborne target and just pressure him out of the skies and into cover. Here on the left-hand side, though, you see he's going against Unbelievable. Great anticipatory reversal, but Unbelievable will still win that battle with the healing and with the AoE blaster pressure. Ying getting traded out with by Spunkki, but Shipa will clean up the kill and put an end to his flanking nightmare. That is Spunkki on the brand new champion made. One shot immediately into Planet. That will confirm the kill onto Maldamba. So no healer now, and the push continues for D69.
Nice shot across the map as well to soften up Unbelievable, making him ripe for the picking. PERDO trying to pick him up, but doesn't see the Mave coming there. The pounce there, it goes straight through reversal. The reset from 9 lives is not going to be enough as gerrah takes him out. Dragon Punch is ready to go here, and that is likely to come out as D69 punch through here. They got to make a move quickly. skillganon doesn't have the choice to go into the Dragon Punch now. Thrusts too far away from the payload, and D69 sneak it in.
You know, Unbelievable was there, and very, very difficult decision. You know, kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? You might die if you go down, and you stay up. You let him push. 2-0 goes to score. Let's break down the items going into round 2.
Not good there for the Interlopers going down 2-0 early. Cauterize 2 already online for PERDO. Wrecker 2 for Shipa. Cauterize 2 for gerrah. And another Wrecker actually picked up for bugzy. Interestingly enough, Unbelievable. Strapped for credits right now are the Interlopers. Cauterize 1s, Haven 1s. Haven 2 online for creative on the Ruckus, but that won't save him for very long. You can see bugzy already fleshed out all 4 of his item slots, so that just tells me he's doing a lot of damage. He's getting a lot of work done. Scout is also available. Midnight was used, so not going to be able to use that freely. Doesn't have to use that to counter the Midnight this time around.
Huge knockback for Drogos there, sending eLvenpath to the back, but PERDO, my God, these snapshots are just nuts. In the air! Androxus takes him down. He's got one more shot on Unbelievable. He misses 3 in a row. Unbelievable! Nice dodges there, and PERDO finally cleans things up thanks to Shipa. Bugzy and eLvenpath follow suit, and it's a clean wipe, and it is going to be all D69 in this point fight.
42% already. Just unfortunate. I think skillganon was close enough to that wall to eat so much of that accursed arm damage. Dragon Punch there is hunting for eLvenpath. Is he going to be able to get away from it? The little loop-de-loop at the end there expired. The duration was not long enough there. skillganon with a big swing and a even bigger miss.
Spunkki trying to do what he can, but bugzy and Shipa are taking him down, as well as gerrah. Let's not mention that. gerrah's hit a lot of good shots on the Ying. We don't often talk about the support players unless they're playing Maldamba, hitting hot stuns, or, you know, just absolutely wrecking people when we notice them on the stat sheet. But gerrah's doing a great job on this Ying, keeping them alive, but also adding some very valuable and sometimes key eliminations in this fight.
Spunkki gets taken down. PERDO and bugzy combining to burst him down. Blast shot not used in that fight. PERDO rotating back around, just trying to stay healthy. And again, Interlopers giving up a lot of ground to District 69 here, who have the chance to close out this game and go up on the series. 2-2-1. Koa just waiting for his hook cooldown there. Spots Spunkki up, but she's so fast.
It's almost like, did he even see her? Like, where was she? Maeve just running around the battlefield. Such a small hitbox as well, and such a fun, light character, but she is getting pincered, and she did not even know it. eLvenpath cleans up Unbelievable as well. Minute and 27 seconds on the clock for D69 to push this. They've got a 3-0 lead. They pushed the last one. If they push this one again, it could be potentially actually less than an 8-minute game that they were able to win convincingly over their counterparts. Great kill, but PERDO kills spunkki, and that is not good. Turns him into a chicken. Unbelievable. Finds Shipa, but look at this. Gerrah is still alive, and this could make all the difference. So is bugzy. This is very, very dangerous territory for Interlopers.
Gerrah keeping himself alive, both Zine clones here. Nice dread Serpent there, but PERDO is going to fall. He does not able to nether step himself a back away, but bugzy has been here the entire time.
Gerrah, dude.
Finds 3 kills in the wave of respawns. I don't know how many in the previous wave, but just bugzy being able to free fire on this Cassie. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't pull top damage.
You leave one of your best players and your damage dealer with a healer like Ying, who could just waste so much time, and that's when time is of the essence. You need to kill them quickly, you know, especially since even if they were going down eventually, shoot, I mean, they would have had their tank come through. eLvenpath would have got back, would have restarted that whole train. And D69, like I said, they put a stamp on this game, Nick. They were upset about losing that game. They come out swinging, dominate over Interlopers on Frozen Guard, and say, you can't touch us. This is 2-1. This is our series.
20-1 for bugzy, 18-1 for Gerrah, keeping him alive through that final engagement. 53,000 damage for the Hunter's Donner. Absolutely dominant performance just across the board from bugzy today.
I think it was a weird decision maybe to take the Maldamba over... I actually, it went weird for a couple of reasons. The Pip and the Maldamba for me. You know, you never had the Maldamba. It was never part of your key strategy. I don't know why you suddenly prioritize it there, because you won your last game. You're doing all right. But the Pip coming out, we just have not seen Pips have effectiveness in EU, man.
I think that was like one evil mojo that game.
We just have not seen
on
it,
a Shipa
dude.
Right there at the end. But
and these last 2 weekends, it's been very, very sparse.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. A little bit of jank there. You know, Fernando not being picked up at all. Ruckus being the choice of the solo front line there on Frozen Guard, which makes sense. You know, granted how far open the map is, Fernando struggles a little bit as he is such a short-range character. Jaguar falls. Could be potentially the final game of the series here as D69 now up 2-0. We're going to head on into the champion draft for game number 4.
Game number 4 up and ready to go. 3 is in the books. D69 lead the set 2-1 over Interlopers. Now Interlopers, they get the first pick. They'll elect to go with Makoa. And so now they've got the front line pressure they need. This could be good. Since they like going with these single frontliners, Makoa is, I think, a much better one to be that role than Ruckus.
Drogo's first picked for D69 once they get the rotation back to them. Ruckus stolen away as well. So just trying to get Unbelievable off his Cumber picks as well as getting bugzy onto his seems to be the theme of the day here for D69. Maldamba, the first selection here. And now, will they pick up the Mave?
They leave it on the table. They've got Drogos and Ruckus on D69. They could definitely go with the Mave. So Interlopers have to take it or be willing to give it up. D69 now forced to say, okay, well, they've already got Cassie. Do we really think Mave is that valuable? Do we want PERDO on that or Androxus since he had such a great game there? I like the Cassie pick there for Interlopers. Kind of forces them into some rough decisions.
Definitely. So the Ying, taken. I would have last picked the Ying, I feel like.
Yeah, you could definitely have last picked it.
Not a lot of teams outside of Burrito will scoop up the second healer. Right now, for those of you that may be new to the competitive scene, Maldamba and Ying, for all intents and purposes, are kind of the only 2 competitive healers right now. And Burrito are the only teams that we have seen scoop up both of them to try and run something janky and know, put you in a disadvantage or an uncomfortable position.
What I think they wanted to do there, especially priority-wise, they knew the Ying was available, but I think they wanted to save the last pick for the counter pick. I think they just wanted to say, rather than giving Interlopers the vision of what they were doing already with their damage, they wanted to say, okay, we want to see what you're doing with your damage in your lineup, and then we'll counterpick what we feel is the strongest flank for that. And so I understand where they were going with that, but again, Ying, priority-wise, was not going to get taken by Interlopers. That's the point we're making. They could have easily left that for the last pick if they were just sure of the comp that they wanted to select.
So the Evil Mojo this time around should be more impactful. Unbelievable. Going to be able to stay on a comfort pick, which is important because Ruckus was taken away. So he will be allowed to play that pip this time around. Creatives will be on Cassie, kamyker on Makoa, Spunkki on Shaolin, and skillganon on Maldamba.
And District 69 will feature eLvenpath on Fernando, Shipa on Ruckus, Bugzy on Drogos, gerrah on Ying, and PERDO on Androxus.
And the items now coming out. 2 wreckers, one for Makoa actually. So looking to be able to box on the point a little bit more effective with that. Skillganon going for the Chronos. We've seen a couple of Maldambas do either that or morale boost off the start. Creatives with the cauterize as well, and 4 cauterizers straight out of the gate for D69 with a double healer. I mean, that makes sense.
Very, very true. Sabo coming out just to zone the potential aggression from Interlopers, and Bugzy hitting those fire spits again and again. He just does not miss a beat with this dragon. 9% already for D69. The fight starting to take place on the right side. And potentially both teams just kind of feeling each other out here. Both have new lineups than they brought in the last game. Unbelievable trying to find some answers with this pip, but so far all he's found is PERDO's revolver. He nether steps one more. Nice play by Unbelievable. The AoE damage will not secure it, but they will get a very good advantage in this fight. Interlopers getting a few kills themselves.
Big stun there from skillganon on the Maldamba to lock down PERDO and make him an easy kill for the rest of the squad there. 51%. Now surpassing District 69, but both of the tanks are here. D69, they're ready to bully their way back onto this point with their double frontliner.
Fire spit misses though because the shell shield was still up. They didn't burn it fast enough. Great salvo. It's going to get a lot of damage, guarantee it, but it's not enough to finish the kill. This could knock him off. No, kamyker's perfectly positioned, and the shell spin will leave him being chased by Bugzy. Good heal though by Unbelievable. Great spot by the pip just to burst him up and make sure Bugzy can't clean him there. District 69 though on the point now, 78%. Unbelievable's got a tall task ahead. Ruckus is slowed, and he's starting to pick up his fire. 96%. Will Interlopers be able to stand on this objective? No, they cannot, and it is captured by D69.
Just getting bullied out by the double frontliner there. And some good fire spits, keeping Makoa under pressure, under duress that entire time. Bugzy doing a good job there. PERDO gets shut down by creatives off on one of the flanks there. 2 minutes remain on the payload push here. Unbelievable does have the evil mojo. That's going to be key to busting this double front line. You saw the way that District 69 was just able to bully their way back onto the point. And that's very telegraphed. It's very slow moving. It's very easy to counter with the evil mojo. What's not easy to counter, however, is that Dragon Punch.
And that Dragon Punch, though, can be countered by just moving away. Also, they've got the Ying, which, Nick, there's an interesting interaction with deployables, the Ying clones specifically, versus that Drogos.
Yeah, so the Ying clones can eat the Dragon Punch, but given that it is on the same team as Drogos, that's not something we'll be seeing this time around. So Interlopers, they're going to be hard-pressed to deal with this.
Absolutely. So really hard to find a counter, especially no Immortal from Fernando. There's really no option except just to run away. But can they run away fast enough to be alive at the end of the duration? It was nerfed a little bit ago, was 5 seconds, I believe now 4 seconds. And so they will have a little bit of an easier time than before, when Drogos was just, felt like he could travel the entire map in that ultimate. Now though, Bugzy will get stunned out of the air, but he'll return some fire of his own. Missed the fire spit though, but a minute left for him to redeem himself and push this into completion.
A rare miss, 90% already on that Dragon Punch. Once again, misses the direct onto Spunkki, but PERDO is there to clean that up. Salvo onto the high ground, just using that wall. And the new explosion radius there, trying to sneak around the back for maybe an accursed arm. Nether step is off cooldown. Won't need to pop it just yet. Will give himself some more ammunition here. No ultimates needed for D69. They have everything available except Illusory Rift. 30 seconds remain, and they find the conversion with time to spare, with ults to spare, and with credits to spare.
Beautiful snapshots coming out from PERDO. His aim is so extraordinarily on point that it is a marvel to watch sometimes. The quick reactions and the way he can nether step afterwards. Keep track of so many different moving pieces.
It looks like an aimbot.
It really does. It does. And he's still going to be...
The way that he goes from such a fast-moving flick to just slow, perfect tracking. It's crazy.
Yeah, if we hadn't seen him play at lands like twice, we would definitely be reporting him to drive air.
That really looks like an aimbot.
Unfortunately, we know he's the real deal. 6 seconds left, Nick. Items coming in for this round. Looking like Hi-Rez is the deal.
Hi-Rez is the name of the game here. I mean, they've got the pip, the burst heal. They've got the sustained heal with the Maldama. So just shutting that down shuts down a lot of what Interlopers comp is designed to do. The Dragon Punch is ready to go. The Accursed Arm is ready to go. And Interlopers are looking pretty clumped up and susceptible to this Accursed Arm right now.
They will be able to taste PERDO's revenge, his anger.
It's not going to have the range.
And unfortunately, it will for Spunkki. It finds the damage. He finds the double kill. It's just a symphony of rockets coming out from the master himself. Bugzy here on this Drogos. He is just absolutely putting on a show. Skillganon and the boys of Interlopers have no way of getting back here, despite having some pretty good counters to Drogos midair with the Shaolin. They just can't find shots on him.
Looking for the long-range fire, but it's going to find it there. Thrusting away, priming the salvo. Zoning everyone out, finding a couple of ticking damage shots there. Creatives goes down. Here comes the Hexafire, the Immortal as well. 10,000 HP. I've never seen it deleted that fast. Fire spit.
Oh my god.
I mean, basically you lose if Bugzy gets Drogos. That's kind of the name of the game here.
Streak again, Nick. I mean, I thought we were, gifted with an incredible performance with his 32 streak earlier on. But an 18 streak again. I mean, looking to make it more on the
Keep
push.
up morale boost.
This is just nuts. He's almost at a full Dragon Punch again. He used it at the start of that round. And there it is. There's just no way that they can contend with this unless they seriously shift the focus onto Bugzy.
Now thrusting up, going to get that bonus damage for the time being. Dragon Punch. Not coming out just yet. There's the Evil Mojo. Immediately cleans up eLvenpath, which is fine because District 69 are just moving the payload right now. They're not looking to take and win this team fight. So, I would have liked to actually have seen that Evil Mojo saved for when District 69 are aggressing and taking a fight.
Minute and 44 seconds left for Interlopers to try and give themselves another chance at an objective.
They blew everything.
Another chance at this game, but they have no ultimates left, as Nick mentioned. And D69, well, they've got the Dragon Punch, and that seems to be enough. Just having Bugzy playing Drogos on their team seems to be enough. And let's not mention that PERDO's also on Androxus. That's a big one as well. They've got a tanky lineup, and they're looking to push here. Ruck is trying to make a move. Unbelievable with the slow, but here's the Dragon's Fury. Will they catch the damage? He looks for one, can't find it. Can he find a kill off it? No, he still does trade, though, with Creatives, and this leaves PERDO with a little bit of an opening. Not with Dread Serpent coming out, though.
Now, Ancient Rage popping out, but ripping through that HP pool. Headshot after headshot. A minute remains on the clock here. Interlopers trying to find stabilization. Backs against the wall. 2 games to 1 here. 3 points to 0 on Jaguar Falls. District 69 look to close this set out, but they're on the back foot. Interlopers hold for the time being.
They hold, but have they held quick enough? Because Bugzy will be back. They've stalled the Dragon's Fury, but have they put a hold on the Bugzy's Fury? There are the chickens coming out, but will Bugzy in the air be able to clean up Skillganon? The answer is almost unequivocally yes, and that will result in a victory for D69, taking the championship for today over Interlopers, who beat PERDO on their path here. Congratulations to both teams.
Yep, so D69 now tied up with PERDO. Actually, they pull ahead of PERDO today with that win because D69 have a first and a second place finish, whereas PERDO have the first place finished and now the third or fourth place finish. We'll head on over to the standings here to see where these teams lie. You can see D69 now 20 points ahead of PERDO. Interlopers and Skitlight neck and neck there at 85 and 65. If these 4 teams continue to make the semifinals, these will be the 4 teams that will likely go to land.
And it's very cool to see Cyclone and some of these other teams as well coming through and having consistently strong performances. Hydra took a game off of D69. You know, I mean, they're no goober, right?
They're no goober. I don't want to trigger anyone.
Don't trigger anybody, because you might get a couple tweets this time, man. Don't call somebody goober on live broadcast, brother.
Absolutely. So dominant performance, frankly, from Bugzy today on whatever he was playing. It just felt lights out. The captain is back and he's in action here for District 69. Unstoppable on Drogos, and that it puts you in a rough spot where it's like, if this guy gets this champion, then we lose.
And of course,
it felt like straight up that was the situation.
I mean, today especially, and again, you mentioned a great comparison with some of the great athletes in the world. If they're just on point, there's almost nothing you could do. You could play your great game, but they're just going to make that play. That's how did they do that? That's the way Bugzy felt today on Drogos. It was just how How? I don't understand. I don't play Drogos even close to that level, and I don't understand.
We're just out here trying to be like Mike.
I'm trying to
like
be
Andrew.
I'm trying to be like Bugzy. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. Of course, you remember we've got all our cool things going on. The booster promotion, if you want 25% off of that, we're going to be able to give that to you. And make sure you get your XP faster, you get your gold faster, you get your champion mastery faster. And, of course, you get crystals every single day when you have that logging in, giving you some more flare chests, some cool Valentine's chests where they are available. And, of course, just spending more time in the realm is always a good thing. My name's been Rain Day. Nick, Hi-Rez Pretty Hair, thanks so much, man. It's been a great cast. And
Absolutely.
as always, guys, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you all in the realm.